Is Florida Congressman Greg Steube. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this weekend. And it's quite alarming to see the CCP's behavior, and it feels like it's ramping up the aggression.
Yeah, and it's not surprising when you've seen this leadership of this administration in Afghanistan, all across the world, and then you have a wide open southern border. Just Chinese Communist Party people, you've had over 50,000 come in the southern border. It's been like 25,000 just this year. So China is our #1 national security threat, and they're seeing these avenues to be able to get into the United States and have their people here to do God knows what to our different systems, and then have operatives in the country. That's absolutely what they're doing. The Russians are sending people in. Afghanistan is sending people in. The Iranians are sending people in. And Joe Biden has a wide open southern border that's letting it happen, on top of the fact that he can't lead our nation and can't lead our military. So all of our enemies all across the world are seeing exactly the weakness that is coming from the White House, and they're exploiting it.
Yeah, I mean, that exploitation is being felt because there are threats at the border. I mean, despite Biden's executive action earlier this week, our sources in Border Patrol tell us that there has been no impact in terms of the number of illegal migrants entering the country. In fact, there were reportedly 10,000 migrants in custody as of Thursday. That's 4 times the limit set by Biden's executive action. So, Congressman, what are we supposed to believe? That just because Joe Biden said that he's going to shut down the border after 2,500 people come in, that people are just going to say, oh, okay, well, the border's shut, I better not go? I mean, what is going to happen when all these people continue to come and Biden claims he's shutting the border?
Yeah, he's not shutting the border down. He took 64 executive actions to create the chaos that we have at the southern border right now. He did that intentionally and deliberately. And you have an administration through the president and through Mayorkas that are intentionally violating federal law every single day and trying to find ways to get more people into our country. They're literally doing flights. It was like over hundreds of thousands of migrants they were bringing in on flights so they would avoid the southern border numbers. It's atrocious. And from a state like Florida, where we have a fentanyl crisis and we've had opioid crisis and fentanyl crisis, all of that's coming in through the southern border and through China. China's shipping it in through Mexico and shipping it in the southern border. And hundreds of thousands of Americans are dying because of fentanyl overdoses that we know is coming in through the southern border that can be stopped, and that we know is coming from China. And this White House is doing absolutely nothing about it. And they actually want this to happen because at some point they want to give them the status to vote.
Well, that's what I want to know. I mean, why? You know, why would they have America in such a dangerous position with a wide open border? And by the way, on the fentanyl, I would correct you and say that's not an overdose. It's a poisoning. OK, fentanyl is poisoning our people. They're not, going and saying, I want fentanyl. And, oh, wow, I just overdosed on it. No. They are getting poisoned by something that they did not expect or understand was given to them, Congressman. So there's that. But why would this president, any president, put the country in such turmoil and such a threatening position when we hear Christopher Wray tell us a terrorist attack is around the corner, and A.J. Merrick Garland, everyone's telling us the threat that China is, and we've got 50,000 Chinese nationals coming in the country. We've got people on the terrorist watch list. Why would he do this? I don't understand.
If these were Trump supporters coming in through the southern border, the border would have been shut down 3 years ago. But because they believe that these individuals are going to vote for them and they're encouraging them to vote for them, they're letting them in. I've seen flyers in Spanish of, hey, make sure when you get into the country, you vote for Joe Biden. You have states like California and New York City and other municipalities that are trying to give illegal immigrants the ability to vote. You have some states that all you have to do is get a driver's license, and you don't have to be a citizen to get a driver's license. Then you can use that driver's license to go and vote and register to vote. This is 100% political. They don't care about the safety and security of the American people. They care about winning elections and using illegal immigrants to do it.
Well, just to be clear, it is illegal to vote if you're not an American citizen. You're an elected official. How are you going to stop illegals voting? I mean, are you doing anything to get in front of this before the November election?
Yeah, so each state under Article 4 or Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution allows for the states determines that the states determine the time, manner, and place of elections. So the fight is at those individual states. I have supported for years. I've asked, apparently, you had Speaker Johnson down with President Trump saying we were going to push out this bill on election security. We haven't seen that on the floor. I don't know where that's at, to simply not allow an illegal immigrant to vote, which, like you said, they can't. But in some of these states, if they can register with a DL and they can get that driver's license not being a citizen, you won't know that it's a non-citizen that's voting in some of these states. You can't do that in states like Florida, but you can do that in other states run by Democrats. So absolutely the House should be passing this bill. Johnson had a meeting with President Trump on this. Where is that at? We haven't passed that yet. We haven't considered that yet. That should have been done 2 years ago when we took the majority.
Well, I like this point that you're making. I'm going to follow that. You're right. Johnson had a meeting with Trump. He was talking all about it. Where's the bill? Why isn't it on the floor? Greg Stubbe, thank you. We'll follow it. Good to see you, Congressman.
Anytime.